Okay, so now I understand the type A and type B blood types and why they have so much kinetic energy going on, because the lack of programmed cell death in the neurological region. And like any gene, genes have a for and against. They are arguments. There is a promotion and demotion of genes, and all genes have programs to do whatever it's programmed to do. And it's always plus or minus. It's always positive or negative. And it's all relative to which, from the perspective of what you're trying to do, stop something or encourage something, okay? And so we learned that the last 5 years that the salt water and the jade juice encourages autophagy, which is the programmed cell death, because when you have so much oncogenesis, then that translates into cancer, disease, and chronic illness. And so the whole point of the JJ meta mentality is to make room for new information, not hold so much of the oncogenesis, which is the T cells that are supposed to apoptosize at some point. You're supposed to release those so you can encourage new growth without it getting out of control. Encourage new information, evolving, lengthening your telomeres, maturing oneself. So does salt affect autophagy? Absolutely. Our observations suggest that salt stress rapidly triggers autophagy to facilitate bulk protein turnover. Now, where does that fit in with the whole, blood type A and B? Okay, so give me 1 second. Oh, my lordy. I have so many things open right now. Because I had to do a research on BCL2. What is BCL2? It is an oncogene suppressor. What is it? No, it suppresses this programmed cell death and allows oncogenesis to happen. Okay, that's what it is. So inducing autophagy regulates oncogenesis. An oncogene is a gene that has potential to cause cancer. In tumor cells, these genes are often mutated or expressed at high levels. Okay, so most normal cells will undergo a programmed form of rapid cell death when critical functions are altered and malfunctioning. So genesis, you understand what genesis is. That's why the Bible is a great allegory, but it really is talking about everything at the microbial level, okay? A gene is genesis. Developing new genes is the genesis of something new, whatever that is. And it could be something that's a therapy, or it could be a new life form. And animals often give us different types of genesis, genes, that will then do certain things that are negative if the body isn't self-regulating, if the body isn't developing its own defense system to allow a programmed cell death, and then also encourage other defenses to keep the body in relative equilibrium relative to the environment, okay? So BCL2 is a widely believed to be an apoptosis suppressor gene. So when someone is type A and type B, they have so much T cell antigen that's causing so much kinetic activity, which is why you see a lot of the very smart geniuses are type A and type B, who are also probably immature in their own right, meaning that they might be very smart, but still, like type O's who aren't maturing, still be immature. But we look at genius and academic accolades as being mature. No, it just means that you're an awesome trained monkey with specific biological markers that give you that leg up over other people. That's why I'm saying the CRISPR gene editing isn't necessarily a good thing, and people are not competing on a level playing field out there, because some people get these therapies that facilitate the BCL2 gene to express itself, and it's also through the different viruses, okay? Because genes are having everything to do with viruses. That's why they link the BCL2 gene with herpes virus, adenovirus, African swine flu virus, okay? So BCL2 is widely believed to be an apoptosis suppressor gene. Overexpression of the protein in cancer cells may block or delay onset of apoptosis by selecting and maintaining long-living cells and arresting cells in the geophase of the cell cycle. Production of homologs of BCL2. BCL2 is a cellular protein that inhibits apoptosis. several herpes viruses and adenoviruses, as well as at least one pox virus, the fowl pox virus, and one asfarivirus, African swine fever virus, produces homologs, I'm not probably spelling or saying it correctly, but homologs of BCL2, probably obtained originally from the host, that act as anti-apoptotic agents. The adenovirus homolog, called EI1B or E1B-19K, is multifunctional. It appears to inhibit apoptosis not only as BCL2 homolog, but also by interfering with FADD-mediated activation of the caspase pathway. An overview of herpes virus interference with the induction of apoptosis is shown on figure 1024, and of adenovirus interference. Okay, so this is like out of PubMed or whatever. This type of therapy may also contribute to the type of A and B blood types. So, I mean, you can get a therapy or be exposed to these viruses and they aren't being regulated. They're allowed to proliferate, which then contributes to, yes, the smarts and the geniuses in our society. So apoptosis is a T-cell programmed cell death. So you are not supposed to overly express the oncogenes, causing tumors and masses from the immature cells taking over. And that's why those who are type A and B are more susceptible to the COVID-19, because the amount of immature cells that are expressing from the union of the new viruses in the body, and then the body is atrophied and releasing, and so they are replicating these immature cells at a massive level, and so that's why type A and type B are more susceptible to the symptoms, to the aggressive symptoms of COVID. So what genes prevent apoptosis? Apoptosis suppressing oncoproteins BCL2. BCL2 is widely believed to be an apoptosis suppressor gene. Overexpression of the protein in cancer cells may block or delay onset of apoptosis by selection. So I already said that. The tumor suppressor gene, P53, is a gene with a key role in apoptosis. So then there's tumor suppressors that try to go and cause then apoptosis to happen, or suppress the oncogenesis. So it's like a therapy that acts as apoptosis. Okay, so it encourages that if a person can't do it themselves. So if you get a cocktail of apoptosis-resistant epigenetics, then I can see how blood types type A and B are developed. So blood type A and B may have more of these BCL2 neuronal family of viruses. Neuronal cell death is a key feature of both normal nervous system development and neuropathological conditions. The BCL2 family, via its regulation, both capsase-dependent and capsase-independent cell death pathways, is uniquely positioned to critically control neuronal cell survival. And so that's why those that are type A and B may have splitting headaches, because of the autophagy that's going on. Finally, the body's able to program the cell death, and then you have to release those little babies and release all that stuff, so that way you can make room for new information and you're not being tortured by all of that kinetic energy. And so that's why the whole JJ mentality induces autophagy, because people have been programmed not to have a programmed cell death, and all that kinetic energy tortures them, and all those memories torture them. And so you have to release the demons when you think about it, and you don't know what demons are in your body, because you could have a bunch of adenoviruses, herpesviruses, swine flu viruses that are causing the BCL2 gene to overexpress, and then you're housing all of that crap inside of you. And so that's why people are finding relief when they're inducing autophagy through salt and water, or the J juice, and they're eating all food in the food supply to then generate and mature their current cells. And so that's what autophagy is. And so some people will do all the different fasting and all the different, detoxes to induce autophagy, but they're not generating the mature cells. They're just inducing the apoptosis, the cell deaths, but then why are they not surviving, the aging process? Because they haven't figured out the other side of it, which is dealing with the pain of maturation. And so while you have the holistic people who are doing all the autophagy type stuff, protocols like fasting, they're starving themselves. And so while they're programming the cell death, so like they think they're saying, that's what they think they're doing, they're not maturing their parent cells. And so that is the main thing. That's what genes are. And I got a P, but BCL2 is why we have apoptosis suppressing genes in people and why they're type A and type B. Because of the different viruses they hold within, they're not releasing because they're atrophied their mucus, they atrophied their sphincter, and so they are the Garden of Eden inside, tortured by the memories and all the different microbes. All right, bye.